people who do YouTube. Very fortunate to be doing this. It comes with its own stresses, but it is a very rewarding job. It's just a matter of taking it in moderation, and also like not listening to other people. That's the thing I get criticized a lot for. And it's funny I say that because I'm literally talking about not even indulging in criticism like that. But I've said publicly a lot that I don't read comments, and there are people that look down on that. I would even say there are other personalities that look down on that. But my choice, and I don't feel like it's relevant to what I do. What I do is sit on a couch, play a video game, talk over it, and be entertaining. And reading comments is not that. It's not that at all, and it actually hinders my ability to do that, because as much faith as I have in myself, all it takes is a real shitty comment and a real bad day to just completely ruin it. And it's really not worth the good comments. It's not. I'm gonna be fucking perfectly honest with you. It's not worth it. Because it's just not. Well, to speak to the passion thing, I'm not passionate about fucking reading comments. I'm not passionate about hearing people's opinions about or theories about fucking me and Dan, and they seem to be fighting a lot recently. Like, who cares? It's none of anyone's business except for mine. And oh boy. And in any case, let me deal with that, right? I just don't want any like outside. I'm not really being super clear about what I mean. My point is just that I don't think it matters, you know? At the end of the day, what I'm doing for you is making a good show, and the way I do that is by using my abilities and my talents and my skills and my opinions on what makes a good show. And if I let other people say, well, I want this instead, then it's not really my show anymore, is it? It's the audience's show, and it's not the audience's show. The audience is watching it, and I'm very grateful that there is an audience, but it isn't the audience's show. It's my show that the audience watches, which I don't think is wrong to say at all.
I was listening to NPR the other day, and I don't remember who was speaking, but the guy who was talking, I believe it was a senator, and he actually mentioned, how these elitists, these elite groups that exist in our country, whether they want it or not, they have some sort of responsibility to everyone else below them because they are these elite groups.
Right.
And I believe that rings real true to kind of what we're talking about here. Whether he likes it or not, Aaron Hansen has become, in the YouTube world, one of those elite groups. And it's sort of his responsibility to represent and, address everyone below him. In this case, his viewers. So,
yeah, I mean, he talks about how he's like, I'm just here talking over a video game. I mean, he brings down what he does to himself. I think it could make him just feel a little bit more comfortable about it.
Sure.
But it is very important, the things that he says, because it's influenced so many people. Anyways, yeah, so you and I wanted to talk about how he says in this video how he openly admits that he does not interact with the comments. He doesn't feel it to, not quoting him directly here, but it seems like he doesn't think it's necessary to be interactive with the comments, and be a present figure in that way. And we both thought it was very interesting, so we want to have a conversation about that today.
Yeah, this came out a couple weeks ago. I think it was on the 5th. Aaron Hansen, also known as Ego Raptor, he's one half of Game Grumps, released a couple short videos, a playthrough of Mega Man X, and in these series, I think they're only like 10 episodes long, he gets really deep and he starts talking about various things in his life. It's real cool. If you guys haven't seen it, please go watch it. If you're a fan of Game Grumps anyway. If not, go watch it anyway, because he had some really good things to say about mental health issues. Some pretty inspirational things for people who are a little down on their luck.
He says that his goal is to be entertaining, and that reading comments is not that, and that it hinders his ability to be entertaining and do so. I widely disagree with that. I think that the comments are very important. It is the number one way, and it is the strongest way that we interact with all of you here on YouTube. For you to give negative, constructive criticism is okay. Anything that you say is okay. You can say that I'm a fag, or you're fat, or whatever. It's not nice. You shouldn't do it, but you can. So you know, we here on Big Guy Little Guy will make sure that you cannot participate in what we are doing here if you decide to take that route. We are super against it. We want to have a very positive community here, and we don't want people getting shat on because you're having a bad day and you're on YouTube and you want to call someone a fag. That's not cool. So
just stop you there. I just want to add on to that. And what Nick's talking about here isn't so much just not giving constructive criticism. We're not saying that that's bad. We're saying that hate speech is bad.
Right.
If you come in here just to call us a fag, I mean, you can do that, make a habit of it, and we'll silence you. Or, I mean, like, I guess you can call me a fag. That doesn't matter, but, I mean, if you start saying hateful things for no reason other than to say hateful things, we don't want that. No one wants that. No one wants
it's our show. I mean, like, it is in its own way a business, right? You can't go to work and, you can't just look at someone that you work with, an employee or somebody or your boss, and keep calling them a fag, because you're going to get fired. Or if you went into a restaurant to enjoy a meal and they're making the nice meal for you and you're calling the waiter a fag, they're probably going to kick you out of that restaurant. All I'm saying is that if you come in here into my dojo and you start calling me a fag too many times, I'm going to kick you out, okay? And thank you for exercising free speech, okay? That's what it's all about, but we don't like it. But constructive criticism, please, and thank you. We really love that. We appreciate it. Your positivity just helps us grow, and your recommendations help us grow, and it shapes this channel, and that's what we need. And so just kind of continuing with that.
The comments do shape us. Would we have played Amnesia if it wasn't for Chase Wiley suggesting it? Probably. But we wouldn't have done it then, you know what I mean? Like, that suggestion fueled us to go do it because that's what he wanted to see. We are making a show, but we're not blind to, we are making a show for your guys' entertainment. And if you guys are like, hey, what would be cool if you did A, B, or C, guess what? We read those because we want to know. And we look at them and we go, oh, yeah, that A, B, and C, that sounds great. Go ahead and do that. And I think in going back to Aaron, shifting back there to what he said is just, hey, I don't read those comments. He's missing out on all of these possible opportunities that could strengthen his community.
Right. Well, another thing that I just heard him say is, he goes, I don't read the comments because I'm not passionate about reading comments. He goes, I'm passionate about playing video games, and so I'm going to make a show about that. This isn't about me reading comments because I'm not passionate about it, because I'm not passionate about hearing about other people's experiences and about their criticisms. However, Aaron's built a show around people listening to his opinions and listening to his criticisms. You know, I mean, I feel like there's no give and take there.
That was my words. No give and take.
Yeah, your whole show is about everybody just listening to you, and you're opening up your life to them, and they want to be able to connect. I mean, everybody's just watching us on a screen right now. They're probably taking a shit or whatever it is that they're doing, or jacking off in your room, or fine, eating Cheetos. Good, but even though we're not physically in the same place, you're still like relaying that message. And so I feel like people just want to also do that. And they're not YouTubers, and they don't want to be a YouTuber, but they're your fans. So just because you're not passionate about it, all these people that have brought you to this point, you should be willing to bend the rules a little bit, because these people have helped bend the rules to get you to where you are now. So
absolutely, and YouTube is a platform for them to do that on. Going back to when you and I went to the Game Grumps live show in Portland.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sitting there, and it's a very surreal experience, because we're looking all around, you know, at this huge auditorium, and it's filled with Game Grumps fans. When we went back to the service exit to hopefully, you know, get her signature and all that jazz, I mean, there was that girl who was shaking. All she wanted to do was to meet them. It was her fucking dream.
Yeah.
And if those particular audiences that weren't called up on stage to meet them and participate and have, you know, kind of this interaction with them, then where do they go? They go to YouTube. They leave comments in the comments section in hopes that maybe their idols, or these, you know, they're idols, they're heroes, if you will message them, or maybe respond, or go, hey, you know, thanks for loving us, you know, keep your chin up. It was really great to hear from you.
Yeah.
Cool story.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, after the show, we heard that they were going to be exiting out the back door. And so we went back there, and I forget how we heard that. Didn't, like, somebody who was working on the staff, like, didn't we find that out from them or something like that? Or was that just your suggestion? Like, you were saying normally they do that? Because there's a lot of people huddled at that back door.
Well, I mean, that's the normal deal. I've been to a couple different shows from different folks, not just Game Grumps, but, yeah, that's normally how it works. You go to the back service exit, and they come out, make a quick escape, and usually some dedicated fans will get, like, something signed. Or,
right. They didn't show up. Now, I don't know, like, why they didn't exit out that door. It felt like that they were going to, or they left early, or maybe that people just heard that they were going to be there and it was a hoax. But they didn't show up, and I felt a little bit cocked on that one, you know? Maybe I'm just saying that, like, maybe he really does have, like, some pretty harsh anxieties about seeing people and hearing from them, and maybe it takes a lot out of him to do something like that. Maybe he didn't walk out that door and meet a bunch of people because he's maybe worried about it. I don't know. I know that their time windows are thin, but just by doing that little extra bit, I feel like you're making a fan for life, and you're really helping these people. And that's it helps them, but it also helps you, because it's good to do something good. It feels good to do something good for others, and I don't know, man. For me, it motivates me to go the extra step. I mean, Aaron's on here saying that, like, the good comments don't wash out that one bad comment, because all it takes is one bad comment and one bad day to just ruin everything for you. But I feel like when I'm bummed out and I get a notification and somebody's on there and they're like, it could be one of two things. It could be somebody being positive and them saying, like, great job, keep it up. That motivates me. But you got to have a good mindset for interacting with negativity, because when someone looks at me and they say, hey, fuckhead, get off of YouTube, you're fat, that motivates me, man. That gets me pumped. I'm just like, man, I have to do this now even more, because I have to prove this guy wrong, you know. And I feel like it's a mindset, and I feel like you have to work with that, because your life isn't, you know, it's, you are what you love and not what loves you. And we love YouTube, and we're not going to let the negativity and the backlash of that affect us, because that's not what we care about. We don't care about that negative backlash, but it is a motivator, and you have to use that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we chose to hop on the internet and become personalities online, we knew we were hopping on the internet, and the internet is a wonderful, amazing, and at the same time terrible, terrible place. And you get you get both sides of the coin when you go and you do anything. You run a website or be on YouTube or have a Facebook. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna have evenly both sides of that. And it's a choice to not look at the negatives, and it's a choice to look at the negatives and let them affect you.
right.
You can easily skim a comment and be like, oh, okay, yeah, fag. Oh, well, fuck, I'm not reading the rest of that because it's terrible.
Sorry, I'm really sick.
Oh, no worries. So, yeah, I mean, to kind of just make a blanket statement or a blanket decision, I made an analogy earlier when we were talking. If someone offers you a glass of goat milk and you drink this goat milk and it's fucking disgusting and you swear off milk for the rest of your life, well, that's not fair to all the other lactose beverages out there. You know, I mean, you're never going to be able to try chocolate milk, and chocolate milk's amazing.
Yep. I love chocolate milk.
So, yeah, to just make a kind of blank... I mean, if you're not going to read the comments and no one's reading these comments, then why have comments? Just disable that shit then.
Yeah.
Why put up a facade that you're reading them and you care when you don't?
Well, because the comment section, because maybe they're thinking of it in this fashion, but the comment section is a place for the community to be. There's the subreddit, there's the comment section in YouTube and stuff. You know, they use the Facebook page, they use the Twitter. So it just has become another place for the community to interact, which is nice and that's good. And the community within Game Grumps is very, very strong. And I would love to see our community be strong like that. So maybe that's just how they're thinking of it, and maybe that's just, they're like, yeah, we'll just leave the comments open because people like it. Because if they disabled the comments, that could also be like a really bad PR move for them. Because then people would start questioning on the other, you know, like people would start saying on Twitter or Facebook, be like, why did they disable the comments all of a sudden? That's weird, you know? And it could look negative to them, and they wouldn't just on purpose cut people's voices off. But
no, I mean, I realize that. I'm not saying, like, why, I mean, wouldn't the logical move be disable comments? But, I mean, if the community knew that none of their voices are being heard for the, you know, for the part of the community that's talking specifically to Aaron or specifically to Dan. And I don't know if Dan reads the comments, you know what I mean? He didn't say anything about it.
Dan in other videos in the past has said that he does read the comments. I believe that he does indulge in the comments because he understands that his life experiences and the stories that he's told have reached out to people. And he talks about how, I think it was way back when they did Wind Waker, how he talks about his depression and anxieties and his trials through all of that, which was, you know, very bold and very brave of him to say that online, and he got a lot of positivity from that, from people. And so he was reading through those comments, and people sent him, like, letters and, you know, very uplifting stuff, and they're like, you saved my life. And that was something that you talked about earlier, is that people in the comments, even though there's negative ones thrown in there, they're saying, like, Game Grumps saved my life. You guys are so funny, and I feel like I'm just hanging out with you, and this helped me. And like you said earlier, we're beating a dead raptor here, but if you are going to be brave enough to come out on even into the comments and say something like that, to say that your bravery isn't worth that one negative comment, it just breaks faith a little bit for me, you know, for
absolutely.
creators.
It's a heartbreaking. I mean, it's a heartbreaking thought too to think about it that way. I mean, I totally get where Aaron's coming from. I think you're right. I think obviously he's got some anxieties there, and they can be quite overwhelming. I mean, we saw that watching the previous videos. He talked about his struggles, and I think it made it, you know, pretty apparent that
Sure.
he does have these anxieties, and I mean, it's very clear that these probably single or even bulk negative comments are very impacting on his day-to-day, and so he decided just to eliminate that negativity from his life. And I think that that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But that coping mechanism, just by going, no, I'm not listening to it, I don't have to hear it, you're drowning out all of this positivity and these people that all they want is to make that small connection after they just went through a really hard time, and then the person that helped them through it and possibly saved their life in some instances is just going like, because of that dickhead, I can't read this.
Yeah.
So
hey, that guy just came into our restaurant and called me a faggot. You know what? Everybody get out of here, okay? It's too much. Nobody gets to eat tonight, okay? You're all fucking out of here. You know? Yeah, I don't know. It makes me a little bit worried about like where YouTube's going and what creators are thinking, and I think it's so important for creators to just have that connection with their audience. You're always going to see on every episode of Big Guy, Little Guy. It doesn't matter if it's an update. It doesn't matter if it's a regular video. We're always going to thank you. We're always so appreciative of your guys' interactions with us. I mean, yeah, we are trying to build a business here, and we do need money in order to fuel that cycle. It's always going back into what we're doing so that we can make it better and make it grow. And we want to get to a position where we give back to you guys, and thank you for your viewership and your loyalty to this whole thing. I mean, this is a big community effort. So despite all the other shit that you hear online, and despite the trolls, we got your back. That's what it's all about.
yeah, and you better believe, I mean, right now, we have a pretty small, tight community, and so when comments are left, there's like 3 of them. They're pretty easy to read through.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm reading one and I'm like, well, that was really harsh. I'm super triggered right now. I can't be bothered to read the other 2. But what I'm saying is that through the natural progression of things, eventually there'll be 20, 30, 40, 430, 1,000, and 569 comments. I'm not going to fucking read them all. You're not going to fucking read them all. But I will read them. I will skim them. I will look at that. And if, you know what? If we helped you through a hard time, you better fucking believe that if I see that, I will comment on it. I will send you a PM, and I'll be like, hey, you know, that's real fucking hit me in the feels, real inspirational. Keep up the good work. We fucking love you.
Yeah.
I guess don't fear. We're never going to be too big to fail. And we're always going to be the little guys. You know what I mean? In this big hierarchy of YouTube, if we ever reach, you know what I mean, that high pie in the sky.
Right.
No matter what, no matter where our business is, we're still going to be the little guys no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, and Jeff and I, we put ourselves way out there. I mean, you guys know that for any loyal fans that watch us, all 3 of you, apparently. But we put ourselves way out there, and we do some really goofy stuff, and we're very awkward. But, you know, we just said, fuck it, you know, let's go for it. Let's do this. Let's see what can become of this. And it's given us a little bit of a voice, and it's starting to grow, and I think Big Guy, Little Guy's starting to understand what it is. And we want you guys to feel comfortable with doing that as well. Be open. Be vulnerable, you know. Be passionate. It's really important. And our message on here is to follow that passion. Keep striving for what it is. Jeff and I have invested a lot of money and time into this. I mean, it's drawn out so much from our personal lives, but we love to do it. And that's super important. So, just, you know, we love you guys so much. We thank you for being a part of this with us.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I've said count. It's so many times I feel like I've said this, but you guys make the show. Nick and I aren't just Big Guy, Little Guy. We're all Big Guy, Little Guy. And that doesn't change whether we're we're just 60 subs strong, or we're 1 million subs strong. We are not going to say blanket statements like that. At least not. If we do it, it's going to be without thought, and we'll apologize for it in the following video.
Which this very well could have been. I feel like if Aaron Hansen wants, I mean, I'll just say it right now in this video, if he ever wanted to reach out to us and make a statement on this, I would love to hear that from him and have a conversation about it. Game Grumps they're amazing people. They make amazing content. They've been doing it, old school and new school, for so long, all the way back when John was on the show. They're incredible. They're incredible personalities, and I feel like they'd be great people to hang out with. I don't want to see a blanket statement like this ruin a good show like this, a good platform like this. It's so rare to come across like very genuine platforms like this that hold such strong communities. And I hope that Aaron isn't struggling too hard with anxiety and depression. There's a lot of people that go through that, and it's intense, man. We're not too deep in YouTube, but he's been doing it for a long time, and it's really intense. And I hope that he knows that there's other creators like us out there that got your back. We just don't want to see you suffer because you're afraid of a little negativity, mate. I mean, that's a bummer,
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. If you guys have anything to add to this, please, down in the comment section below, let us know what you guys think. We would love to kind of have a talk about this and figure out, like, is it a requirement for content creators to be engaging with their community in the comment section? Should they read the comments? Should they basically... Is it their obligation to read the comments, is what I'm trying to say. I'd like to know what you guys think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, shoot. Thank you so much. Shit, dude, I mean... Okay.
Okay.
Okay, dawg, I feel you. Alright, well, you guys take it easy. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side. Papa bless.
Alright. Peace.